Everybody, sorry we kind of got interrupted there, but as I was saying, we came home and I had this cocktail of drugs in my system. I really can't remember what we did when we got home, but I know one thing for sure was that I went to bed thinking that everything was going to be alright. Now, I went to bed thinking that I was alright, and obviously, from what I'm about to say, everything's not alright. So while I was sleeping, the video that I made yesterday, the process of an overdose, that's what was going on when I was sleeping. The drugs were working through my system. My breathing was slowing down, and gratefully, luckily, whatever you want to call it, I texted my ex-wife today, and I asked her, I said, hey, what made you wake up? And she said she didn't know. She had no idea. Something woke her up. So for those of you who do not believe in something higher or whatever, but something made her wake up, and you know, I'm grateful that she was there. Because if she wasn't, I would be dead. I would not be here right now. And you know, that's a thing that I want to kind of touch on right now is a lot of people isolate when they do drugs, and they have a drug addiction and they overdose and they die because there's nobody around. You know, it's usually what happens. They go into wherever they do their drugs, and they don't make it out of there, you know, and that's scary. Yeah, you might make it into that room to do your drugs, but are you going to make it out? You're going to go to bed with those drugs in your system, but are you going to wake up? Yeah. So she did wake up, and she seen me. I was purple, gray, and damp, barely breathing. She tried throwing water on my face. She tried waking her mom up, and then she called 911. Now, in any circumstance, I would recommend calling 911 first. But you know, she did what she did. I'm still alive, and I'm so grateful for that. At the hospital, they tried sticking the tube down my throat, and they couldn't get it down my throat. They were having a hard time getting it down my throat for whatever reason. She was in the bathroom praying and crying over the sink, and thankfully, you know, thankfully for that she was doing that. When she came back out, the doctors gave her the news that I was coughing and I was awake by then. So, you know, maybe in doing that, who knows? So, but while I was in the room and the doctors were working on me, the doctors and the nurses, I remember family being there. I remember hearing voices, like my family, like my mom, like frantically asking what's going on? Is he gonna be okay? I just remember the horror in her voice, the terror. I remember my brother asking if I was gonna be all right. I remember my Jennifer asking if I was gonna be all right. I just remember how scared their voices were. I remember having that tube stuck down my throat. I remember having them pull that back up, gagging on it. I remember having a catheter stuck in, and that wasn't fun. Having that being pulled out, that hurt. I don't remember being stuck in, thank God. But having it being pulled out, that wasn't fun. That wasn't a fun experience. Having all the IVs, your body takes a toll. Your brain takes a toll. My friends showed up, but they were scared. They didn't say what I took, which might have helped. I don't know, but at that time I already came to, I think. And it is what it is, that's the name of the game. But it's risky. It's a risky line of work. It's a risky game. It's like I said in the overdose video. It's passive suicide. You play with your life every time you do drugs, and you're mixing them, and you want to party it up like a rock star, and you think you're invincible. I mean, even if you have been doing these for so long, and I've been doing drugs for this long, and I got tolerance to this shit. I can't be fazed. Just like I said, there is no circumstance that can push a high into an overdose. There are greater risks. Obviously, I was at that greater risk. Now looking back, I think about how I traumatized all those people, all my family members, even the family members that weren't there when they got that call saying that I was overdosing in the hospital, and they didn't know if I was going to make it or not. I mean, it's so selfish what we put people through, what we put ourselves through. That we don't think about it at the time. All we care about is getting that next fix, getting high, because we're dope sick, or we want to achieve that feeling of euphoria. But we don't consider the feelings of others, and that's a big problem. Something that my ex-wife mentioned was that she would go to Nar meetings, I believe, and those are meetings for people who have people that are, or those are people who have people who have addicts in their lives, like if your husband's an addict, or your son's an addict, or something of that nature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach that website to the link, or to the video, and that's just to let you know that you're not out there and you're not alone. And hopefully you can maybe find a meeting and you can go to it or whatever. Maybe that'll help. I'm not trying to push this on anybody or anything, but I'm not trying to represent it or anything, you know. But I'm just looking to help others, you know. So I was afraid after that overdose that my command was going to find out, and obviously my disease was telling me, don't say anything, don't say anything, shut up, don't say anything. And I didn't. So I didn't reach out for help. Still didn't reach out for help. And I just went back to living normal. Came back. We had a going away party. Like, everything was normal. We thought everything was good. I at least was like, okay, we'll go back to California. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna get away from here. Everything's gonna be all right. We're gonna go and create a new life for ourselves, and it's gonna be fine. So we did that. We moved out to California, packed up the U-Haul, said goodbye to the family, and started a new life. And we went out to California. It was good. It was good for a while. We moved out there, did the Marine Corps life. I got into drinking pretty heavily out there then. My disease flared up again, but just in a different aspect or a different manner, with alcoholism. So we then again had some issues. We had issues with, you know, arguing, domestic disputes, you know, things like that. And I had to go to classes. And you know, it's a shame that I shouldn't have just surrendered earlier to my addiction or to my disease and said, I wish I would have been more knowledgeable, I guess, on it, and knew what the hell I was facing and how powerful it was, I guess. Because if I would have known that no matter where I would have ran to, no matter what life I would have tried to create, it was following me. You know, it still was lingering with me. So I guess with this video, that's kind of the lesson that I would like anybody to take from this, is that no matter how far you want to run, no matter where you want to go, no matter what life you want to try and create, if you have an addiction, the disease is still with you. And you just gotta face it. You just gotta face it and get help. And you gotta humble yourself and do what you gotta do. Because otherwise you're just gonna go through life with pain and misery, and making other people's life pain and misery. So I'm gonna leave it here. When I come back, I'll talk about coming back from the military and how everything really spiraled out of control. And yeah, so I hope that hope you guys really pull something out of this one. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.